Well, I think it's clear to see from ITB that the whole hospitality tech is leading the way. So I used to come here as an airline provider, and I used to walk the floors, and like row hall 2, 3, 4 were packed with people. And yesterday I walked them, there was no one. But here in the hall, 10, 7, 8, packed. So I think the beauty for me as a, now in the hospitality tech is that, this is where the action is. Like, there's so many new players, there's so many new platforms, and people want it, people are interested, people are buying, people are at least having the conversations. For me, like the beauty of ITB is really showing that hospitality tech is, here to stay. I think, yes, with the accent being put on enabled, as in not focused solely on the tech part. I think every time we speak to hoteliers or park owners, they do mention that the human element of service is critical for them, and they don't want to let that go. So technology is here as a support, as it should be, as opposed to becoming the only provider of service. So tech-enabled is probably the right way to go. Obviously, as a PMS, we are here for it. And as one of those central point of repository for information, we're definitely at the core of that. But I do think this industry in particular, the hospitality industry, will still want to keep their staff, their human service. That's really at the cornerstone of what they do. Yeah, I mean, when you walk the floor here at ITB, there is so many more point solutions than in the past. In the past, you really had like a few core solutions, like the PMS being one, or your workforce management. Now you're seeing, messaging solution, you're seeing chatbot solution, which has happened in other industries. So the hospitality is catching up. I think the risk for the hospitality team is that they don't necessarily have IT teams to back it up or to make sure the system integrates. So my recommendation would be to start with your core solution. Obviously, I am biased because RMS is a PMS, but thinking about your core solution and then trying to find an ecosystem of partners that work with, so the integration is easy, the information flows both ways, as opposed to buying software for software's sake, and you just have like this one platform that does one thing but doesn't communicate to everything else. So that's kind of how you build a really big tech debt, and it really becomes really difficult to untangle. So start with your main software, your main core component, and try to build around it, as opposed to just shopping, just because something looks good. I think, like I said before, buying tech for tech's sake is not a good thing. So you really have to start with your core problem. So when you come into an event like this and you're speaking to people, ideally try and have a problem that you're trying to solve. What is it that you're trying to solve? Are you trying to improve your guest communication? Are you trying to improve your retention? Are you trying to improve your website conversions? Whatever, your loyalty program, whatever it may be. You start with that, and then you try and find a solution that would work with it. That's the best way to find ROI. And that's also, it takes away all the noise and the faff of buying software, and you're just trying to solve a problem, and you're trying to, find a solution to your problem, which could be tech indeed. But you always start, at any good business will tell you, you start with the problem, what's your pain point, and then you try and build around it. Yes, so that's something at RMS we've been doing for 10 years or so, the ability to sell space beyond the room, so meeting rooms. I think a lot of hotels are catching on to that. However, at ITB, I was hearing of hotels like really pushing the boat on some of these trends. So there was one hotel that mentioned that they weren't renting out their washing machine to students. So they have like this common area of like washing machines, and they are monetizing that for students that live in the area that may not have a laundrette or a washing machine. So that's a really, really smart way to think about it. They had a swimming pool. Again, they were trying to monetize that swimming pool access to non-hotel guests. So that was really like wonderful to see. And obviously that's frankly easy to do even within the PMS. So like I said, RMS has the ability to do that. You can easily configure all your extra spaces and sell that, but it's definitely something worth thinking about. I mean, the money is here, so you might as well. I don't know if every single hotel or every single property operator should cater for the business audience. Maybe some who should, maybe some shouldn't. I think they would know what their audience is, right? And again, you kind of want to start with that, like, who is my audience, who are my guests, what are they trying to do? The authenticity, though, that's throughout, whether you're a family, a couple, or a business traveler. I think the authenticity is there. I think there is telling the story through your own channels probably is a good way to do that, through your website. That should be an authentic website. I mean, I will talk about this more. I could talk about this all day actually, about like how you should really not use stock photo on your website. Just use your own people, use your own staff, use your own guests, even take your guests' pictures to try and build that authenticity on your website. And then the same on your channels. If you have any social channels, try and speak as you would to friends. Like try and speak, with your own challenges, your own ability to provide a really good guest experience. And then the other part of that is obviously the tech-enabled piece, which is like the pre-arrival communications, the booking experience, the post-arrival. Like how can tech facilitate some of that, take that pain away, make it just a lot easier. Frankly, people don't want to be doing like filling out those dreaded one-pager paper form. Like what can be done so that when you arrive, you don't have to do that, but you can spend time with your guests, telling them about, I don't know, a cool bar or a cool restaurant or something like that. So I think this is where it really comes across. If the tech is here to take away all the admin, then you can have that authentic experience with your guests. Well, I think in the nicest possible way, the hospitality industry is a little bit behind when it comes to tech adoption. And what we're seeing in the hospitality industry is what's happened in other industry before, which is at the moment there is a lot of point solution. A lot of emerging. I mentioned, SMS platform, messaging platform, loyalty platform. So you could, if you wanted, buy this huge technology stack. However, what's going to happen is what's happened in other industries is at some point you're going to realize that you're spending a lot on your tech, a lot of money, and your CFO, your finance director, whoever it may be thinking, really, do we need to spend this much on software, especially for hospitality, if you don't have the staff to actually enable it or really leverage the technology? Because technology is great, but you need people, program, processes to actually make it work. So I do think at the moment we're seeing a lot of point solution. I would anticipate that in the future, this will consolidate further into bigger single platforms, so all in one platform. That's probably a few years away, but you can see it in the industry. There's so much consolidation happening with news buying, different players, and they're clearly going for that platform play. And so is RMS, by the way. We really do feel like we're a hospitality platform, and that we're able to, supply the vast majority of what a property operator would need. But I do think while tech is amazing and I love it, and I think people should buy it, you want to make sure that you're not building a huge tech debt, and that you might have to then unwrangle that somehow at a later point. So really the ecosystem piece of like having one main point of control for your tech and partners that plug into that is probably the way to go, like HubSpot has done for many, many years very successfully. So at RMS, we have a lot to look forward to. We have a new brand coming up. We're gonna, be redoing our website, and that's just from the marketing side, because obviously I'm marketing, so I'm thinking about that, my own marketing hat on. But as a company, I think we are really going to double down on our expansion outside of Australia. So that's really UK and the US. So trying to resonate more with these audiences. We've got really good innovation with the payments platform that we have. So again, that's going to be available through our main markets, and that's part of like the platform play again, like trying to provide that payment solution for all operators so they can take that pain of payments away. And then interestingly, we have a new booking engine coming up as well. So there's a lot of innovation coming from RMS too. So our customers and our prospects will be happy to hear that, we keep doubling down on what makes us good, like the core solution. Like PMS is all we do, it's all we've ever done, and it's all we want to do. We just want to be really, really good at it. So we keep adding to the capabilities, and hopefully customers and prospects will like it.